Hold. All right. So I got it. Can I ask Holden? Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
All right. This is serious now. You ready for this one?
Yes.
Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart? Who's better?
I mean, I'm a Shawn Michaels fan on Attitude, but I don't know enough about Bret Hart.
I mean, like for
I
me,
mean, it,
I'm a Hart family guy because I was
Okay.
a Blue
Hart
Blazer
family
fan.
Dungeon.
I was a Blue
but
Blazer
like,
fan.
bro, I mean,
That was
So
Owen, right? That was
that
Owen,
was
wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
like Bret, it's all right, but like, I don't know. There's something about like the sharpshooter as a finishing move when I was young that was not appealing. I don't know why, but submission moves weren't appealing to me when I was younger. And then there's the theme songs, right? When you found
Right.
out that
Right.
Shawn Michaels sings his own theme song, and it's
I
that
mean,
theme song, I don't know.
the one after Sensational Chef, Scary Sherry was doing it, right?
Yeah, like the one like
So,
I mean, I know the one where it's like I think I'm cute, no I'm sassy. Like
so,
that's that
so that
shit.
put that put him over the top. That put it over the top for you,
But it was also the attitude. He's also a high flyer. Like he's not
right?
like, and that shit was always appealing to me. Like Jeff Hardy ended up being like the guy I was rooting for when I really got into wrestling.
That's why I was into
Oh,
the Blue Blazer because the
So
Blue
like,
Blazer
or
was like
like,
he was flipping all over the place and just
so if I have
I
to pick, it's kind of
like
like I'll take a lucha libre styled mid-sized high flyer dude over like anybody else.
the
Yeah,
mat technician.
but
Okay, and I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that.
like I as I got older, I kind of have a lot more respect for what Bret Hart brings to the table.
Why so? What did your impressions of wrestling change, and did that
Yes.
make it?
Oh my gosh,
Okay,
yes. My
okay,
best friend is debatably in. Okay, he's such an. He started a wrestling blog to document the Chinese wrestling independent scene because nobody else was doing it, and brought them to Canada to lube up their visas to try to get them to the States. But then some fuckery happened. So like my
oh
best friend
God.
is that deep with it, and so by osmosis of his obsession, I know
Mm-hmm.
as much about wrestling as I ever need to hold my own in a wrestling conversation with real
Okay,
fucking super fans, even if I don't
dope, dope,
always know what's up.
dope, dope.
And
Do you enjoy wrestling? Do you enjoy wrestling not the same, but as much as when you first introduced into it?
I think I
Because for
appreciate
me,
it way more now, way more, because I understand it now.
right? Okay. What do you
Like
think about the direction right now?
I don't really watch it that much, but I hear AEW is ridiculous. It's appealing to the old school fans. The WWE is doubling down on the young ones because that's what they got.
Right.
Apparently, AEW, New Japan, TNA are all rumored to team up to do some next level shit together. And
Get
I'm
the fuck
like,
out of here.
yeah, I
What?
told you I could hold my own without watching this shit. But like,
No diggity.
so yeah, because that side really fascinates me, like the business of the wrestling world. Because if you look at battle rap, you look at wrestling, you look at
It's
local
the
hip hop
same
scenes,
thing.
you have
It's
it's
the
almost like
same
you have to see
thing.
what works there. And the more I do that, the more I'm trying to like employ and it's all because of this show, fuck. Because I didn't know who fucking battle rappers were before this show, right?
Right.
So started creating these
Right.
parallels, and yeah, no, all of it kind of ties into it. So yeah, I like wrestling in theory
Yeah,
more
me
than
too.
I
I grew
like.
up on grew up on it. Grew up on it, bro. Grew up on it.
But I did. My dad used to get WWF pay-per-view tapes, and we'd watch those when I was young. I never like watched it live or anything. We just watched pay-per-view tapes. But yeah, that's my answer
No
to your
doubt.
wrestling question.
so 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 let's pick up where we left off, right? So
Mm-hmm.
You watched a
um
movie, Crush Groove, and you.
Crush
Mm-hmm.
Groove, that's what got you into hip hop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was like
Mm-hmm.
around before 10. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but like what's the journey like between there and like, like getting going?
So now that point is literally when I'm a fan. This is no artistry. This
Mm-hmm.
is all fan mode.
Mm-hmm. Little
So
kid.
Yeah.
little kid, man. So you just growing up, and now you start to pick out the favorites and all of this stuff. And it wasn't until I got into maybe high school, like maybe right before high school, going into high school, and I was like, yo. Nah, I want to do this show because I'm meeting people that rap. Oh, ironically, beautiful hip hop story. I went to graphics high school, in Midtown Manhattan.
Oh,
Oh,
I know
yeah.
I know where this is going. Go ahead.
This is some of hip hop's most legendary artists attended this school, and at the same time, me and Fats went to school. That's when me and Fats met, by the way. My partner that I wound up putting my music out with. We met at graphics.
Circle.
The Circle is
In the circle, yep.
very great music.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. We went to school with boot camp, like Smith and Wesson and them. They was like a few years before us. Helter Skelter and them. They was like 2 or 3 years before us, something like that. Sticky Fingers from Onyx went to that school.
Did you go with? Because I feel like this sounds like either Swave or Penn. Did any of them like end up there? Did you meet any of the homies now?
Nah,
there.
Swave went to, I think Swave went to King, he said, which was literally right up the way, like a
King.
A stop or
he
two
went
away.
to King. He went to King.
Everybody went to Park West for summer school, so I'm sure I bumped into some of them for summer school, and that's down the block. So
yeah.
I didn't meet them in that capacity, but we were in proximity. You know what I'm saying?
Who is there anybody else in the underground that like you might not like? You know, it's not the family, but like they were also in school around the same time as you.
Right now, not right now. Those are names that come to mind. It's probably a few, and if there's, I'll definitely get back to you on that. I mean,
it can't be like
while we talk, it might come out.
It can't be that like these are people that you weren't in school, like right? Like I think that you are like essentially contemporary with Sticky Fingers, no? In age, like so, like y'all might have been in school at the same time.
He got us by like if he was a senior, we were freshmen. Like we,
okay,
like that.
But there we go. Exactly.
Like
so then. But then that's better because like Swizz Beatz was the same thing with me. Like he was a senior as I'm a freshman, you know what I mean? But like that I still was in school with Swizz Beatz at the same time,
right.
technically speaking.
That's
it. Yeah. Okay. So Sticky and who else?
So you got Sticky, Ruck and Rock, Tech and Steel, Strang from OGC, like all of boot camp. Like I would see Buckshot from Black Moon. I would see him up there. Like, you know, it was at graphics, it was rappers and Decepticons. You know what that means.
Yeah. I do.
That's what it was.
Holden has gotten to know it like a little bit through because like Penn put him on to the Decepticons. I think Swave also talked about it. A lot of you know, but like you can absolutely delve into it a little bit, you know, I mean, from your perspective of it, you know.
Basically in the 80s, New York didn't really like. 70s was a big gang era for New York City. You know, things happened, quieted down, but in the 80s we had D-Steps, we had Low Lives, we had D-Steps, we had a few more, but D-Steps was out there, and they pretty much ran the streets. They was like the most notorious gang out for a certain amount of time. Not gonna say the whole 80s, but for a few years there, you ain't want to mess around with them bros. You know what I'm saying? So I was in school with a bunch of those and a bunch of rappers. We ain't gonna go no more than that. We leave it right there.
Bro, I'm very fine
leave it right
that.
there.
I'm never one to pry down that path, man. I'm just like, listen, you went to school with rappers I've heard of. That's fucking cool.
Like I said, Ruck and Rock. Let me say that correctly. Rest in peace, Sean P. That's Ruck. For everybody that don't know who Ruck is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Helter Skelter. Sean Price and Rockness Monster.
Shouts to Rock too.
So
shouts to Rock.
If I understand correctly, though, you're surrounded by a bunch of greatness in its inception forms, and this allows you to violate the circumstances to go, I want this. More than like, what's cool about that is, But it's a little different from other people. Is most people I find are inspired by like a famous person or some shit like that. You're like, nah, I saw people doing this and I wanted to do this. And that to me is fucking a nifty, again, like kind of a standout thing that I didn't hear as often as you might think.
Man, now, mind you, so this is like freshman year high school, right? Now, this is prior to all of them putting out their first albums. So me and Fats always share this memory, like when we be kicking it. Like I remember, like straight out of the movies. I remember coming out of class, walking down the hallway, boom, we going to class, whatever, walking past a crowd. You thinking it's a fight or something, doing all this, and inside the crowd, dudes is right. My first time seeing a cypher rapping. Oh snap, bro, that was Tech and Still. One of them, I know Still was there. I don't know if Still was rapping, but Tech and Still was there. So one of Smith and Wesson was there in the hallway. Yeah, like rapping. And I'm like walking past, seeing that. And then you seeing these faces every day. Next thing you know, you looking at the TV video, and it's like, yo, hold up, wait a minute. I know I didn't just see. Oh, wow.
Wow, like I go to school with a guy that's like fucking signed. Like if he can do it, I can do it. There
you go. There's the inspiration right there. The literal transference of the energy. Like, oh snap! I was in the movie theater a few months ago, and I saw that, and or a few years ago, and I saw that, and oh snap! I was in school with him yesterday. Him right there on the TV. Yo, I gotta figure out. I gotta figure out how to do this.
Yeah.
That's it.
So okay, so how do you
figure
15,
out
16-year-old in New York at that time, without the internet and probably without a whole bunch of guys going, here's exactly how to do it, my friend. How does one do it?
You find a person that's doing it. So it took a while. Like I'm talking about this is beginning of high school. So now this is a more story fodder. I get kicked out of this high school and go to another high school. And then it's in my second high school. That's when I start seeing the rappers that's right next to me now. And now we get into the beating on the school table at lunchtime. It's like, oh snap, son rap. Oh snap, he rap. Oh, his uncle is nice. Oh, his uncle got a song out. Cool. Now let me go to his crib. Let me go around his way. Now I'm saying, and now you start seeing people that you walk in to their neighborhood and what's up? And while you standing there saying what's up to them, somebody coming around, yo, what up, yo, son, I want to battle. All right, meet me around the corner. I'll be over there in 5 minutes. What y'all about to do? What? Okay, so that's how that happens. Y'all about to rock. You about to right now. Yo, I'm gonna come with you. Then you start seeing it, and once you start seeing hip hop in action, bro, you gonna get it. You gonna catch the bug. It's undeniable.
Yeah,
it's undeniable.
Yeah. Nah, it's a fact.
Now I'm saying you're gonna because you talking streets now.
Think about the fact that everybody that we talk to, right? Like that's the commonality that we all have in common, right? Even you, Holden, right? Like think about it. Like you bitten by the bug.
Yeah, I got bit by the bug long time ago.
Long time ago. As soon as you hear it for the first time, anytime in these generations that we've been born in, when people hear it for the first time, it hit everybody the same way. Like, oh my God, this is the greatest shit I've ever fucking heard.
Like, what is this?
What is this?
Word up.
It just transcends to me. But yeah, it's an amazing thing. But it's cool the way you like broke it down though with that like progression, because something I find a lot happens in life is people will like ask, how do you find people? How do you figure it out? How do you actually do it? And it's always the same thing. You got to go outside, go to where people are, and then inevitably, by random circumstance, you find the person you're looking for. And it's...
Now, you see what you just said right there, Holden? You see what you just described? You just described the major difference between my era and the current era that we live in. I don't want to build no connection through this. Like after this, I'm I already know Flacko. That's my man. I know how to reach him. After this, I'm gonna figure out a way so you and I could connect, and that's just more. That's more than this, because I'm from the era where for it to be real and for me to get it, I gotta be able to
I gotta breathe
the
same air.
Yeah,
I gotta touch
right. I gotta
you.
see you. I gotta look you in your eyes.
See you, feel you. Yeah, nah. I mean, I still have
gotta
that,
say
right?
something
Like,
to you and see your. I gotta see how your body react to me saying certain things. I
Yeah.
gotta see how you act when you say something to me that you ain't uncomfortable with, that you're not comfortable with. You can't do none of this over the TV, over this. Like this is where all of the posturing comes from, and this is why people have certain incorrect assessments of themselves, because they so free and protected by this. It was so much more genuine and real when I'm like, yo, what you say, bro? What? Who you talking? Like, you can't do that here and it be effective. That's the main difference. People think that they establish genuine shit through this era, and it just don't work like that, yo. You gotta keep, like, we human beings, we built on connectivity, we not built on this artificial, yo. We flesh and blood, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why hip hop resonate with niggas like that, because it's feeling. The culture is a feeling. Like,
you need to experience it in a group setting. It's not like it is a thing that you could do all by yourself, right? But it is like also one of those things that like is way more effective when mixed with a group setting. You know what I mean? Like
the energy,
like,
your energy build with his energy build with y'all energy build with their energy. Next thing you know, the whole place wilding, and we just having a ball.
Yeah, there's nothing like I was recently in the clubhouse room having a discussion with like the battle rappers, and they were expressing their displeasure for like what Lupe was saying about the MC challenge, and they felt a certain way about it, but like what I was like hearing is, I'm just like, yo, they were talking about the feeling that you get when you get a whole room to like go in an uproar, and I'm just like, yeah, it's literally the same feeling that the MC challenge, like or that performing on a stage, your music, it's being able to control or like to have a big group. It's just powerful in general to be able to see a lot of people do the same thing at the same time, and that's what hip hop performing does. Is it makes everybody react in the same way, kind of like when you go to a movie theater, right? And you see a movie with like people like when I went to the movies to see Endgame, and like Captain America picks up Thor's hammer, and it's just like, I'm not the type of guy that I react the way that other people react in movies, and even I reacted like everybody else reacted at that moment. Because it was like battle rap.
It was a moment. It was a historical Hollywood moment.
And to experience that moment with other people in a theater, like, I'm so happy that I got to have that experience. You know what I mean? Because it's better to be like experienced in a group setting than by myself at home. It might not have hit the same way if I would have experienced it for the first time at home instead of the movie theater with a bunch of other people, and hip hop is like that. It's like, it's a group sport, and like, it's a group setting thing. And the more that you experience in the group setting, the more that you like learn to love it.
Even just like outside of like the hip hop realms, like I love what you just said too, right? Like, I've met a lot of people on the internet recently in my life, and they've never met me in my real life. And I'm like, I don't know if you like me. You might think you like me because you see this person I put on the internet, but I'm like a little more sulky off cam. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you don't actually know me right now. Like, you're seeing a version of me that is probably like, I do not smile this much off cam, I promise. Like that kind of shit. So it's like, I'm like hearing what you're saying, and I'm like, yo, people really be acting like they're like best friends on some internet shit, where I'm like meeting people now, and I'm like, bro, I never met you in real life. Like, hold up, we've talked, like maybe we were like hung out one time. Like hold your horses a little bit. Let's ease into this a little bit, like. So I hear what you're saying a lot, and I think that's a very fascinating point.
And I think it is also because nowadays you have more people that like grew up on the internet, so they don't, and they never got to have. They live in places where like the personal interaction maybe is a little bit more rural, and you don't come across it as much. And so like for them, internet friendship is like all that they know, and they kind of don't know how to move like at a like real speed. I mean, like I have a lot of people that I'm cool with online, right? And I make it an issue to really try to meet them. Like I've met a majority of the people that like I'm cool with on the internet, because I'm like, yo, let's go link up. Look, Holden, immediately we start working together. What do I tell you?
Yeah,
what do I invite you to do? I'm like, yo, my guy, you should come to New York City. You know what I mean? Like, I got your back. Like, you come here, I'm gonna take you to eat good. You know, but it's also like you wanna like
meet the
exactly
person.
what Slim said.
Like meet the person. Yeah,
we want to meet the person.
Like, honestly, I'm like sitting there going, how am I gonna get to New York? I mean, at some point I gotta meet Flacko in real life. But it's like, even to like where I was going with it initially, it's just like, yo, people be constantly talking about how they're gonna find some shit to me, and so I start asking like everybody, every single person, how did you find that insert blah bleep blue bleep thing I might care about? And it's always, I went into the real life world and I interacted with human beings and shit. And I say that because even like anecdotally, right? I was having some trouble until I started showing up at shows. And guess what? You go to one show, you're going to meet like 40 people that are all rappers and shit. And they're all, people will remember you that you showed up at that one show 2 years later when you're trying to work out some shit. And I'm like, oh, that's it. Just fucking leave your house sometimes and magic will happen, you know? So I fucks with what you're saying a lot.